Well, welcome everybody to Bren and Jen's opportunity chat, business discussion, whatever you want to call it. We both feel very strongly about this topic. I know I can speak for Bren when we think about women needing to have multiple streams of income, not just two, but like the Word of God says seven, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But we feel very strongly about this, especially in our role today, both of us working with people in, I'll just say mental health, just sort of a broad sweep of that, and watching women be dependent on others for their income. And this is a real soft spot for us, and something that we really enjoy encouraging women to find no matter what it is. So thank you guys for joining us, those of you who are here with us right now live. And for those of you who will watch later, we're grateful that you took the time to just have a listen to what we have to say. Bren?
Yes, I just agree with everything you said, Jen. I think it's essential not only for women all the time, but especially now, especially in this season that we're in.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about that too when we get on the screen share. So I'm going to go to the presentation. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. While she's doing that, I'll just share, some of you know me, my story, and then I think a lot of you who are on here do, but those of you who don't, just real quick, in 2021, I lost my husband really quite unexpectedly. He was diagnosed with cancer. I think we got the diagnosis in June, and then he passed away in August. And while I always had a network marketing business, but I had stopped cutting hair, and losing him, having half of our income gone, really just put a big pinch in us. I mean, the Lord is kind. I have to say, God is so kind, and we made it. We had friends helping and so many really amazing things. But one of the things that I realized was being dependent on one income, even if you have life insurance, even if you have all of those, investments, it's not, it doesn't last, it runs out. And I was just really grateful to have had a business that I didn't have to leave the house. I could still homeschool the kids that were still schooling. It really opened my eyes to a bigger need of why we need this. So that is one of the things that I'll be sharing with that.
Not on the right thing right here, just so you know.
We're going to share how to do Facebook today.
Yes, we're going to learn how to do Facebook. This is so crazy. So let me just pop off of those.
Are you not able to log into Canva, Bren?
I was. Hold on. Hold, please. I had Canva pulled up. Let me see if I can do this in Google Chrome. That's what I need. I'm back. Can you see me now?
Oh, we could see you before.
Okay. Well, now I'm trying to do this into the right screen. So there we go. Okay.
There we are.
Yes, there we are. I'll just put that one over there and maybe go into the whole full screen, maybe? Yes. Yeah. All right, perfect.
Awesome. Thank you, Bren. I appreciate you working on that. Okay, so obviously these are going to be our business ideas. And please know, one of the things, and Bren, I'm pretty sure I can speak for you. We both will tell you we are not loyal to any company. We are both loyal to Jesus and Him alone. Period. End of story. I know there's a lot of chatter going on, especially if you do network marketing, we're loyal to this business or this company, and then all kinds of weirdness. I will tell you, as a hairdresser, I went through this in the salon, where if you left a salon and worked for another one, there was just all kinds of ickiness, and it's like, just bless and release or whatever. But we both do the things we know the Lord has called us. We don't do anything without seeking Him first. So saying that, these are just our ideas, and we'll share about some other, if they have these things that don't fit with you, what we do, then will help you guys decide what is right for you.
I agree.
Okay, so why more than one? We discussed this, I alluded to this a minute ago. The word of God says in Ecclesiastes, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. So not just 7, but he admonishes even 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Has anybody, well, no, this is a rhetorical, dumb question asked, but I'll say it this way. We've all walked through 2020. There were a lot of folks really impacted by that who had to make some tough choices. When I lived on the East Coast during that time, I saw people leaving their jobs because they didn't want to do something that the company was mandating them to do. And so now they're left with a tough choice. How do I feed my family? You just don't know what will happen. I remember years and years ago, I had a friend, we were having a debate about, she didn't want to work network marketing because she's like, it feels a little unstable. To which I quipped, probably not very kindly, oh, like my husband's stable job after 16 years of being with Bank of America, he was let go. And that was that. And they gave him a severance, of course, but again, that only lasts so long. So it was just interesting, that mindset. I'm sorry, go ahead, Bren.
No, I was just going to say, no matter what you think is stable and going to be there, you have no idea what can happen. My husband was in the military. Normally, you don't get fired from the military, but we were overseas in the early 1990s, and there was a quote drawdown, and they were like telling people you need to get out, and here's a severance.
Yeah.
And so not only that, but during the 2020 to 2022 almost time, it wasn't just people who didn't want to comply with certain things. There were whole businesses, whole industries that were shut down because nobody could meet in person.
Right. Right. Which I know for me, it impacted me doing Young Living because I had been, not we as a company, but I had personally been so dependent on in-person gatherings. And I had already just carved out spots working at Staples, had this really neat program they had just rolled out for the community. There was nowhere to meet, and people didn't want to come to my home. And they didn't want to do an online. So there was just a lot of things, and even that. And so if you do a stay-at-home business, you work from home, it's your own, whether it's network marketing or affiliate marketing, those companies in and of themselves can take a downturn. It's business. That's just what business does. We see this. And I love studying businesses. I love business. It's really, weirdly, I'm creative, but business is so fascinating to me. And I love reading market research. But what I've noticed, the common thread, it doesn't matter across the board, whatever business you choose, they just ebb and flow. It's just the way it works. You have growing pains, just like a family, right? So that is why, besides the fact that the Lord said, but also, I mean, look, he says, you just don't even know what disaster is going to come upon the land.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, why more than one? God told Abraham, I will bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing. How many of you realize that we're called to be a blessing? He blesses us so that we can have the opportunity to be a blessing. When my husband was alive, we were blessings to other people because we had so much abundance. When he passed away, we reaped that blessing from others who felt the same as we did, for him. So it's like that. We just, as the body, we pour out. The more we're blessed, the more we're able to pour out on those who don't have that much abundance at that moment. And I love this in Proverbs. A generous person will be prosperous, and one who gives plenty of water will himself give plenty. And there's so many different ways that that's translated, just depending on what you read. But I love that idea. If you're generous, those of us that'll give plenty will also get plenty back. We can't do that if we're not reaping those blessings on our own. And carefully consider. I wrote a class a year ago, and some of you guys took it, the Women of Valor. One of the things I realized was I've studied Hebrew for a few years now, is that so much of the Word of God is poorly translated. And that excellent wife, a virtuous wife, it's a very odd translation, but that word actually means she's a valiant warrior. She's a wealthy warrior. So if you read Proverbs 31, understand that she's not an excellent wife. It doesn't even call her a wife. It calls her a warrior. And that word that they use means all of that. It's almost like all of what shalom means, but then you add warrior and tough lady in there. But in that passage, she considers a field. She carefully considers that Hebrew word. She ponders it. She takes her time, which is what Bren and I want to encourage you to do is after we finish this, is just really take your time. Ask the Lord, unless you have been asking him now and you saw us say, hey, we're going to talk about this, that might be your answer to prayer already. But if you haven't, we really want you to consider. So this woman, she considered a field, right? It's more agricultural community and a time. And then she buys it. From those earnings, she plants a vineyard. I love the word of God because it's really an invitation to look at things deeper. You have to see what it doesn't say. Well, what did she do with that vineyard? Well, we know now, right? You can make wine. They use it for healing. They used it, what is it? What is that scripture, Bren, about drinking wine? It makes the heart glad or merry or something like that. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that you can do with a vineyard. Could bottle it and sell it. All these things. There's at least 3 or 4 different things I can think of that she would have done with that vineyard, and on and on. And you can just picture that. She could also probably have hired people to help work it. So now she's providing for someone else. So you can see sort of that trail. See why I love business? It's really fun for me. And then with that, a couple verses later, it's like she surveys what she did and she senses that her profit is good. This woman was wealthy. She did not depend on her husband, but because of her, that guy was praised. That guy had honor. As you can tell, I love that whole chapter.
I love that. And I just want to say too that based on what we were talking about earlier, I know that there are some relationships where the spouse maybe doesn't want the wife to work. And you have to work that out between you and your spouse, right? But just consider that sometimes that's more about an ego that doesn't want to appear that their spouse has to work. Because I mean, my husband's always encouraged me to be in business and to do things and supported me, and that's been fabulous. But I just know that that's not the case for everyone. And I'm going to bring this up if it's okay. I think this is an appropriate time just because of what we've been talking about, Jen. And that is because of what I do. So I'm a pastoral counselor and I have a ministry. So I see people who are in desperate situations and who are stuck. And one of the biggest issues I find, and I know Jen has seen this too in coaching, in her business, coaching emotions, and that is that people feel stuck because of their finances. And that can be a really, really hard place to be. And so it's always better to have a free choice. You're not really choosing your circumstance unless you can freely choose your circumstance. If you don't have an option, then you're not choosing, you're just accepting. And so that's part of our heart in encouraging women to have a stream of income in a business. I've seen a trend. I guess it's a trend. It's something I didn't see before, and I saw more over the last probably 5 to 10 years of women who, in their 50s and 60s, their spouse just suddenly ups and says, hey, we're done. And they've been the homemaker. They've been the supportive wife. They've been stay-at-home moms. And they have no stream of income, no education, and they don't know what they're going to do. And it's been tragic and so heartbreaking. And I've also seen women who were in abusive situations and we're told, you can't leave me. You don't have any money. You can't get out of this. Where do you think you're going? You don't have a way to support yourself or the kids or whatever. And that feeling of being trapped is so horrific to me. So I'm sure none of you are in that situation, but I just wanted you to understand that this is one of the reasons for encouraging women, to also do business, to also be a Proverbs 31 woman, because when you have your own stream of income, you can, while if things are great and wonderful, then you can contribute to retirement. You can contribute to trips and things that you wouldn't otherwise as a family be able to do. But if things aren't so great, you can put money aside and you can have the ability financially to make a choice about your circumstances. So I just wanted to pop that in there because I feel like it's really, really important and on the heart of God. I believe it's on the heart of God. You know, the reason in the Old Testament that he said he hated divorce, one reason obviously is because it marred the image of covenant. But the other reason is because of how women were treated, because women didn't divorce men, men divorced women. And they would just stand outside their home, say, I divorced you 3 times. And the woman was out on the street and had to become pretty much a prostitute to earn a living. And it was a horrible, abusive thing. So God's heart is for women. God's heart is for women to be prosperous and to have security, first in Him, but also financial security. So anyway, we'll move on.
Well, okay. So now you got me started. See, now Bren and I, this is what happens is we start talking and it's like, we're just gonna do a whole Bible study with you guys. Oh, we'll talk a little bit about business. But just on that note, to the other side of it, Bren, I mean, now being single, and that was one of the things that I wanted, why I wrote what I wrote, besides the Lord pressed me on the women of valor was, we look at this and it's the virtuous wife. It doesn't ever even say the word wife in that whole passage, by the way. And I often felt, just because that's just what God does for women who were single when I was married. Now that I'm single, I'm like, oh, I feel this 100%. It just, the having a husband, it was like almost that feeling of, and if you have a husband, these are the goodies he's going to get because he's married to you. But this speaks to a woman, to all women in general, not just a woman who's married. And in our culture, I love, not love, that's not the right word, because I was being sarcastic about that actually. So I don't love how it's pressed that we have to be these robots of women, and this is how a woman is. That's not at all what this passage is. It's encouraging us to come up, to rise up to our full place of honor with our King and our God. And to Bren's point, if anything today, ladies, if you can hear us say anything, it's that our God is so for you, you have no idea. And we want you to just hear us on that, regardless of business, regardless of whatever it is you choose to do or don't choose to do, that our God is for you 100%.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now I'm done, I promise.
So these are our businesses that we currently do. Young Living, of course, the AO Scan from Solex, LifeWave, Oli Life, Root Brands, and then we're going to give you some other ideas as well. So each of us are going to kind of talk about the things that we do. There's some overlap for us. But it's really like, these are the things that we want to support, we want to do, we believe God's led us to do. And so any of these could be an option for you or none, right? We're just giving you our take on why, aside from the Lord said so, why we're doing the things we're doing, what we see in these businesses that captured our attention, our imagination, our interest. And it's not going to be this is not like the opportunity presentation where you get to hear all the comp plan and all the stuff. That's not what this is. This is an interest meeting. This is like, hey, you might take a look at this.
Right.
So, oh, hold on a sec. Let's just do this for a second. There we go.
Okay, so what's that?
No, go take it away.
Okay. So obviously I speak about Young Living. It's one of those companies that it's just, as I wrote here, I should say the capital THE world leader in essential oils. period. And that's just that. It's a company that the Lord handed me. I was cutting hair. I loved cutting hair. I still miss it to this day. I haven't done it in 8 years, but I miss it and I really enjoy doing it. But he called me out of it to pursue this more. And what is really neat about our God is he knows our deepest, truest passions. And for me, that is to see women healed and whole and really in their right mind, emotionally speaking. And Young Living fit that for me to a T. Now, with that, they have it's non-toxic products, right, for your home to clean with. You have essential oils. Obviously, we know that you can do a number of things, as we all were laughing and talking about before we started the recording. But one of the things that I love that Young Living has done in the last year or so is allow you to join, and they call it a brand partner for business for $1. And the other side of that is they have a heart for people who are really not struggling, well, that too, but just trying to get some traction. So you don't need to place an order in order to earn a paycheck for, I believe it's the first couple of months. So you could start signing people up and earn to help you start your process going. And I can talk to you more about that, should that be something you're interested in. But, and again, this is not an opportunity meeting. It's really difficult for me right at this moment to not go, and then they have this, and you can do this and that. I think everyone here knows what Young Living is. They're known for essential oils. They are the world leader in it. You do have instant brand recognition. There's consumable products, which again, as a hairdresser, I go back to one of the things that helped make us the most money is when we sold people shampoo, hairsprays, and all that. It was consumables, things that everybody uses every single day, which I love that about the company.
Yeah. So I'm gonna flip over here to AO Scan, and I think, let me see the view. Yeah, okay, now I can do this. Oops, when I do that, nope. When I do this, yes. Why? It should be on speaker view. Let me pin. Okay, there we go. All right, so one thing I want to say about all of these things as we go through them is basically, if you're looking for something to do, one of the things you want to look for is either a consumable product that people will purchase over and over again because they ran out because they need it. Or you want to look for a subscription-based program, or you want to look for a very unique, like just killer product that's not a consumable, and that works a little differently. And I'll tell you about that within one of the opportunities. But that is something you consider, like, how would you make ongoing income? So Young Living is a product-based company, and people run out of oils and all of the other wonderful products. By the way, I'm a Young Living user, love the oils, 100%, only oils I'll use. So, they run out and they have to reorder. And so that's how you continue to make money. The Solex AO scan, this is something that is very important to me because as a stage 4 cancer survivor, I began using frequency back in early 2010, 2011. Might have been a little bit later than that, but I discovered the power of using frequency technology, and it was so beneficial to me. So I love that the AO scan is literally like a wellness clinic in the palm of your hand. It is multiple modalities and benefits in one device. So you can find things out there that will do some of what it will do, but mostly you cannot find anything for this price point that will do everything it does. And I also love the heart of the people that founded it. They have a heart for people getting well. They know what's up in the world today, and they utilize their technology to help mitigate some of the things that we might be able to discuss on a different call. But this is a subscription-based plus additional products company. So, the investment to become a distributor, which they call a quantum living advocate, a QLA, is $149 a month because you do have to have the subscription plus $49 annual fee. And then they also have customers, preferred customers who can get in for $149 a month without the annual fee. And the comp plan is a hybrid. It's first level plus generations plus profit sharing. You get a replicated website, you get your own link, you get a back office. Jen and I run a Scan Squad Christian-based user group because anytime you do anything with frequency, I promise you it's going to go into the realm of a lot of woo-woo and new agey stuff because that's who's had the bat for a long time. That's who, has had these mindset that technology was a good thing. And the believers pretty much said hands off, that's all demonic and nobody would touch it. But Jen and I are committed to taking that back because our God created all these things for our benefit, and we're determined that we get to use those.
Yeah.
So we run a Christian-based user group that you can be a part of. And then Solex official AO Scan Facebook group, they have a YouTube channel, and they have Solex University. So this is cutting edge technology, frequency health technology. You're going to see more and more of this. Billions and billions of dollars right now are being spent on basically wearables and frequency health technology. That's just an emerging field. It has been. So this is a great time to do something like this.
Yeah. Can I say something just on that note,
Yes.
Bren, with the AO scan? So I obviously use an AO scan. I think some of you have seen me write about it too. It pairs beautifully with, for those of you who use Young Living oils, I will upload, and I don't want to get into the use of how, but I upload the frequency of the oil into it. I imprint stuff along with my oils. I use it for emotional health and wellness. I have seen for my downline and the people who are in my group in Young Living who are willing to use it have really found a lot of benefit in using the two combined together. So just for those of you who are using a living, but you've never used this, I highly recommend you do, especially if you already work a Young Living business. This is like an automatic, why wouldn't you?
I would
Right?
say that, when I was first in, doing frequency work and stuff, I did use a Zyto.
Yes.
And I would tell you this is Zyto plus, 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 plus. Okay. Other than probably the Zyto $10,000 unit, the one that does the emotions, I would say that the AO scan gives you so much more information about your physical health. It's the equivalent, the energetic equivalent of all the blood work, all the toxicity screens, all the food sensitivity workups you can get done, all of the hormones issues that you can look at blood work wise, plus all of the MRIs, CT scans, 3D imaging of those things, organs and bones and skeleton and all of that. So much great data and information. It's not diagnostic, but it's informational. And then when you know what's going on in your body and you have oils, you can use frequencies, like Jen said, plus oils, and that's really just stacking your
Yeah.
frequencies. And it's
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we could go on and you
yeah,
can scan your body to see what supplements you need. You actually do need that day rather than just taking your supplements because you think you need it and everybody's told you, oh, you need this every day. Well, you might actually need more than what you're taking. So it's nice to know that as well.
yeah. And the other thing too, I will say is that you can broadcast frequencies and utilize the custom affirmation program to really shift your business mindset to abundance and really, really use that to grow any other business.
Yeah.
Um, then the next one, some of you probably have heard of this. I know there's been some talk of it amongst young living people. So I'm not going to go into that. I'm just going to tell you that LifeWave actually is the #1 home-based business at the moment. It's growing like crazy. And the reason is because it's a biophoton patch that it doesn't produce these cells. I'm going to be careful what words I use because I don't want to get dinged, but it doesn't produce the cells that you're reading about here. It stimulates the peptide that produces those cells. So it doesn't put anything in your body. It's not transdermal. There's nothing that goes from the patch to the inside of your body. It uses your body's own light that is emitted, the photons that are emitted from your body hit this patch and then are redirected back into the body at a certain frequency, angle, resonance that stimulates peptides. And there are about 8 or 9, maybe 10 patches that do different things that are quite amazing. There's one that produces, well, the end result is like eating 30 cups of royal jelly. If you know what that is, that's a product of bees. They're great for everything from inflammation in the body to, dealing with your metabolism, pain, all kinds of things, and they're non-invasive. So this is something you can put on your kids, you can put on your pets. I have a patch on my dog right now. She looks like a little Jewish dog because she's
He
little
does.
bitty, and it's a little white patch on the top of her head. It's really hilarious. Um, but these are just something to consider because it's a really hot market. The investment to become a brand partner is $125. That gets you in. And then the comp plan's binary. So if you know what that is, great. If you don't, just know that that can be explained. They have a replicated website. A replicated website, for those of you who don't know, is like a website that looks like it's your personal website. They have a link. They have a back office. I'm part of the largest Facebook user group in the world. The Lord truly blessed me with getting in under this woman that is incredible. She's got like 8 kids. She is this Proverbs woman. Her husband had a seizure and a brain tumor. She literally kept him alive with patches while waiting on um, the EMTs to get there. So it's got over 58,000 members, and she created all these protocols. So you can go into her group, look up anything, and there's a protocol for it. It tells you exactly what to do. And also in her group are many, many medical professionals, doctors, nurses, veterinarians, who are also giving their responses and telling what protocols they use with their patients or their furry patients, animals. There's a lot of science-based studies. So this is a really cool market to be in. And I personally use these. So that's something to consider also. So Jen, I'm going to switch us out here.
Okay.
And I'm going to unpin myself. Let me see if it goes back to you. There you go.
So when you say, you want me to talk about this, right? This root
I
brand.
do, and I can help because we've used this in
Well,
together programs we've run.
I'm laughing because Bren knows a lot of the science. I'm like, listen, it works. So just trust me on that. And so when we started using the root brands, we did this last year, and some of you were a part of it. We did a 90-day detox. So, we did it like going in conjunction with the moon, because that's always the best time to detox parasites, heavy metals, and all of that. So we did that using our AO scanners. We ran a group where we ran frequencies and everybody frequencies. And also you could see based on the frequency of their body, how they were faring as far as parasite detox, or where they were coming out, the heavy metals, we could see that they were getting to be less, basically. And the other thing is we were recommending these root brands, what you see, the Restore, the Zero In, and the Clean Slate. The technology behind it, I was actually just watching a video before we hopped on, because Bren told me, and I hadn't paid any attention, that they have a product now that shields your skin and your pets from EMF shenanigans. Probably shouldn't say too much, but anyhow, I really want to start. I'm like, no, we're going to record this and put this on YouTube. Never mind. A lot of really amazing detox and health products. Just Dr. Ram, I'm still, what did she do? She worked for MIT,
She
right?
worked for Pfizer, and when she discovered that what they were
You should have
creating was
spelled that.
weaponized.
You should have spelled that word.
Oh, yeah, should have.
It's fine.
True, but yeah, true. So she worked for that, and when she
That,
discovered that what they were creating was not exactly beneficial in the way it was presented to be, she quit, she got out, and she started creating products that would mitigate the effects of said injections.
yeah.
And she is a believer, by the
Mhm.
way, and also very environmental conscious. She does a lot of things worldwide. So one of the things that I discovered when I was looking at, we both do root, but Jen is looking at, I think is doing more about this herself. They have a worldwide presence. Like, they are highly valued and highly honored. They've received uh different honors from the countries you don't hear about, third world countries, for what they've been doing in those countries. So it's a very I think a very interesting and honorable company.
Mhm. It is. And I love, so Bren and I have our affiliate links through two ladies called the Detox Girls. They're like us, but they talk about detox and they're awesome. And the amount of information they offer is stunning. So if this was something that was interesting to you, you don't need to necessarily know all the ins and outs of detoxing in the body. They've literally made it their work to educate, and their group is also quite large. I don't think it's quite as big as that LifeWave one, of course, but I really appreciate, as Bren said, that Dr. Ram is environmentally conscious, but really, hold on, I'm trying to think of how to say this that'll keep us on YouTube. She's aware of what's happening in the world. She's aware of the war that's going on over our bodies and our health. And I'm sorry, my dog is having a party of one. So if you hear a lot of moaning and groaning, he is rolling and itching himself. My apologies. I don't have to worry about kids running in and out. I have to worry about my dog making noise. Um, Dr. Ram is aware of everything that they're trying to do to us, and she has created products that will help not only fight that off, get it out of your body, but protect you in the future. There was a lot of discussion in the talk I heard today about, things that happened in World War II, things that have happened since then, particles that are floating in the air now, that you create a lovely shield around you and your pets and your family and all that. One of the things that I actually got really excited about, I'm always telling my kids, so what I'm telling you today, I tell my kids constantly. I don't know if it's the whole a prophet is without honor in his own home or what that's all about, but they're like, yeah, yeah, mom. I do think it's a generation thing, honestly. But my middle one, who just turned 18 a few days ago, super into coffee. For his 18th birthday, he had a coffee tasting with all of his friends, and he's brilliant at it. It's really, that part of my husband just dropped on my son when he passed away. And so Root Brands has an organic coffee that they offer. And so Cannon is going to get his own line and start doing coffee tastings with people, which I think is really neat, that it is not all just health products, but they also have a clothing line now that protects your body from all of the nonsense. And I could go on and on, but so if you look at this graphic that we made, the investment is none. And if you think it sounds too good to be true, I know but it's not. So kind of like Young Living, although that was $1, you can share this, you can read the research and explain it to people and put them in the Detox Girls group, have them be educated. They have your affiliate link, and you can earn an affiliate amount from just sharing it. So I really appreciate that, because I don't always need all the products every month, especially with the clean slate. It's when you're detoxing, you don't want to throw your body into a little hissy fit by detoxing too fast and furious. So you don't need more than maybe 2 or 3 drops at a time. Well, that bottle will last you 2 or 3 months. the point is that you don't necessarily need to order something every month in order to earn quite a tidy little paycheck, if I'm honest.
Yeah. Yeah, Root is really unique, I think, among everything else we've talked about, in that it is an affiliate marketing opportunity. So it's not an MLM or network marketing opportunity, it's an affiliate. And it does, even though it pays generations, in other words, it pays for your affiliate connections, like 2 or 3 levels. But what really, one of the easiest things is, if you just talk about it, you can funnel people into the Detox Girls education group and just say, hey, if you'd like to learn more, I'll invite you to this great group and you can get educated. Well, when people get invited, and this is the same way for the LifeWave group as well. When people get invited, they don't have to sign up to get in the group. They have to be invited by somebody who is in the group. So you invite them, and they can pop in there and get all the education and see all the amazing things that you may not know how to explain.
Right.
And then when they're ready and they say, hey, I'm interested in buying this, the people who run the group, the admins, will say, well, the person who invited you is so and so, and they'll tag you.
Right.
So you know to reach back out to them. That's so easy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, like you have nothing to do. You do have to, get out there and tell people about it. But there's a lot of support here. A lot
Yeah.
of support. We ready?
I think so.
Okay. So this is Oli Life, and many of you probably remember another company name if you got a terahertz product through one of us. The company that does that is still in business, and they are still doing products. And I'm not going to disparage any of their products because I sold quite a few of them, and I still have them. I have four now of their products. They're great products, but this particular one has this P90, and it is a PEMF and terahertz technology. And when it came out, I bought one because I wanted to know, what does that do together? How is that helpful together? And I was blown away by it. So it is an international market. As a matter of fact, it has not even officially launched in the US yet. And so the people that I am under are kind of pre-launching. They're building out all of the structure to be able to sell this now in the US, even before the company launches it. But they are well established in other countries. And the company has its own manufacturing plant. So they make everything themselves. And the two things right now, they're coming out with several other things, like a hydrogen water producer. But right now they have a terahertz wand, and it comes with a stand that is electrical. So you can put the wand on the stand, and it will, oscillate and do what it needs to do. And then they have this foot technology, which is whole body treatment. And what I love about it is it's easy for older people to use. I've had people are like, I'm not very techy. I don't know how to do anything. It's so simple and it's so beneficial. So it's easy to get in. You just buy a product. And then from that point on, there are no monthly purchase requirements, no brand partner fees, nothing else you have to buy. And I'll just give you my little testimony. I sold 2 of these back in May of last year. And I hadn't looked at it again. And I had a client that was interested in one of their products. So I was trying to figure out, how do I sell this again? Because I hadn't even really been doing it. But I got in my back office and I was looking at the figures, and I was like, what does that mean? I had to call somebody, and one of the people at Blind for Me, and say, does this mean what I think it means? And they were like, oh yeah. I said, how did I make that much money again? Because I must not have understood. And they said, well, once you're in this placement, you're going to earn money. And I said, well, I haven't sold anything in a long time. And they said, it doesn't matter. You're still going to earn because there are people who are going to come in under you. So you're going to earn even if you don't sell. I was excited. I was excited about that. So, this is one of those things though, that's a killer product, right? It's not sustainable. They are coming out with other products, and I'm sure that there will be other things that people could purchase that would be through this, but this isn't a consumable, right? And it's not a subscription. It's a product that you have to find new people to purchase. So you can do that. And obviously there are ways to do that. And we would talk about it if you're interested. But it is a really great product with an amazing upline who's super invested in your success. So they help us do everything. One thing I will say is that there is a little bit of crossover between Oli Life and Solex. So for me, and these are things you're always going to come up against. I'm going to do this. Let me do this. So I'm talking. I'm talking. I'll just leave that up. One thing I want to say is that you're always potentially going to have this kind of crossover in what you sell, right? So for instance, well, I know this to be true. Like Jen May, she does Solex primarily as an adjunct to her Young Living business. And so if there's any crossover in what they do, she's going to promote most likely the Young Living stuff. And the same for me with Solex in this. If there's crossover between what's offered, I'm going to primarily promote the Solex because that's my primary business. Unless there was such, like Jen said, no brand loyalty here to the point of if something is absolutely 100% better with this company, I'm not going to tell you that the other thing is better, so you have to have some integrity there.
Yeah.
You think, Jen, that's accurate?
Oh, 100%. And I was just thinking about, there are supplements that we have at the office, Optimal Health, that I find are much better than the Young Living ones that I have. My body responds better. And if somebody asks me what I take for such and such, I would say, I would recommend and give them the Kairos Life link to Optimal Health. And I have.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
because my whole goal and Bren's too is to help heal up the body of Christ, whatever that looks like, whether it's physical, emotional, or spiritual, probably all of the above. And we spend a lot of time researching and seeking out what's the best. And then asking the Lord, hey, show us, not hey, talk to the Lord, but you know what I mean? Like, show us what is the right thing to do here. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. There's always going to be crossover. Here's the deal, guys. Every company, they're out to make a profit. And I want that for them. And so you're going to find supplements probably in every company. You're going to find certain things in every company that maybe this other company sells. Well, we're going to have to move along and choose the better one and really not get hung up on it. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree, Jen. I think that's, you have to be a person of integrity. So, for you, your integrity may be that you don't recommend anything but your primary company
For sure.
or, whatever. But for me, my integrity is I'm going to recommend the very, very, very best thing for someone
Mhm.
because my loyalty is to the person. Right. It's my loyalties first to Jesus, and second, it's to the person, but I do have loyalty to the company. I mean, I do. Um, I wouldn't rep a company. I wouldn't work with a company I didn't love and think was really amazing. So it's not like I have no brand loyalty or no company loyalty. It's just a matter of prioritizing. So let me do this. There. So this is, our last one that we have, but I want to show you these ideas. And Jen, in a minute, I just chime in what you want to say, but I'm going to go through quickly. And then if you want to expand on any of these. But right now, you could look at other network marketing ideas and products. So you could find some other MLM or network marketing or social marketing product that you want to use and that you think is amazing. And you could do that. You could do another affiliate marketing thing where you find something that has affiliate links, and you just make, post and comments and say, hey, if you want to buy, here's my link. And that's kind of like an automatic thing, because you don't have to have inventory, and you don't have a downline. You don't have anybody that you're trying to, continue with a relationship necessarily. You're just putting it out there. And if they buy through you from the company, and the company fulfills that purchase. And then the third thing right now that's pretty hot, and you've probably seen these ads all over Facebook, my goodness, and that is producing digital products.
Yes.
So a resume template, an ebook, a goal setting printable, or like website themes, or Canva products where you go, oh, here, I'll give you a bunch of ideas for post on health, wellness, whatever. If you're really creative, like if you say that you're in Young Living, for instance, and you are really creative and you got into Canva and you designed a bunch of graphics that people could use to help their Young Living business, but you left a place where they could be personalized with somebody's link or with their information, you could sell that as a digital product.
Right.
And you don't sell it for a lot of money, but you put it out there, and there are a lot of people who are in Young Living that might see that and buy that because they aren't creative, and they would pay for your creativity.
Mhm.
So these are great. There's some structure that you can put in place so it's easier to do that. But this is another hot idea for having a stream of income. And some of these things, like the affiliate and the digital product ideas, can make you money without a whole lot of effort after your initial posting or creation of the product.
Right.
But Jen, did you have anything you want to add to
Yeah.
this?
I mean, yeah, and I echo all of that. And the one thing that I cannot encourage people to do enough is the create and sell digital products. Again, I say this to my children all the time. They're so brilliant. And I'm like, guys, do you have any idea as a homeschool mom that how much I would pay to have somebody just give me some tutorials on history or math or what have you? This is so to Bren's point, it's a hot market. Creating a digital download, this is where people live.
Mhm.
Most people now, for those of us who are 50 and older, we're like, oh, we like paper and all of that. I get it, but the younger generation, they would rather just save it to their phone. And if
Mhm.
you can give them a digital download, that's their happy place. And so I love to meet people where they're at. If they would rather do an ebook, I'm so happy to sell them an ebook. But again, this is one of those things when I think about earning income, having multiple streams, I stumbled on a verse. It was the Lord that drew me to it before the actual 2020 nonsense happened. And it was the abundance of the sea will be turned to you. And I lived at the ocean at the time. And I was like, the abundance of the sea. That's interesting. And there was where I lived, it was littered with clam shells. And the Lord gave me this idea to share with my husband to just go down. We would go down as a family and pick up seashells. He would wash them and then sell them on eBay. He made thousands that year just to sell blank seashells for people, teachers doing school project, all this. So the point is, when I think about that, the word says, talk about the abundance of the sea being turned to you. So all this income coming in later on in that passage, it talks about basically your gates being open 24 hours a day. I'm so paraphrasing right now. Look in Isaiah, it's there. But your gates are open 24 hours a day. We see that now. While I'm sleeping, I'm earning an income, whether it's through my digital products, my Young Living business, or Solex, even people purchasing coachings from me now. I understand I have to actually coach them. So that's not, I can't be sleeping, but my work is out there. My writing is out there, the things my books sell in my sleep, that type of thing. This is the way my brain works. And I'm hoping that you all think this way as well. 2 days yesterday, I don't even remember when I did the class. I did a class for people who are signed up with us in Young Living and Solex on how to like use social media. That is the hot ticket is using social media, but you have to understand it. And there's a ton of classes out there that people are charging a interesting amount of money to teach you how to use social media. And it's like everything I know about it, I got it for free. And when I do put effort into it, when I'm not like still trying to work through what is my life doing, having no husband, it works. It's such a valuable tool. So the affiliate marketing, I'm sure you guys all know, but I'm just going to put this out there. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about my dog if you guys can hear him.
I can't hear.
Okay, good. Because he's really interesting. Amazon. I
Yeah.
hope you all have an Amazon link so that people say, oh, where'd you get that phone case? Oh, Amazon. And then you send them your link and Amazon will give you a paycheck just for recommending a product that you always use. It's really neat.
Mhm. Yeah. So just to Jen's point, you know, basically people are selling on social media. And I have seen so many videos and I watch them. Hello. Oh, look at the, cute dupes on Amazon for expensive looks, right? And there'll be these girls, they'll have they'll show the expensive look, like maybe a picture, and then they'll show the dupe and they'll put it on. And you go, hey, that looks really good. That looks good on her. And they talk about the quality. Well, I mean, I usually go buy that thing if I like it because I wouldn't have bought it otherwise, but I got to see it, right? I got to see it on a body. I got to hear somebody say the quality is pretty good. It's not just crap stuff, cheap. Um, and I'm like, oh, I could do that for a lot less money. And I like that look. And
Yeah.
they don't ever give, if you notice, they don't ever give their link. They say, shoot me a message. I'll send you my link to all my Amazon finds.
Yeah.
And they make money.
Yeah.
So there's no reason right now for people not to be making an income somehow, some way, more than ever. We have global access and reach. We have the ability to leverage what other people have done. Somebody went and made a successful business. Oh, we can leverage that in affiliate market and just say, hey, look at this great product I found. I really love it. Would you like to use it? Here, I'll send you my link.
Yeah.
We don't even have to build our own great thing. So it's really so many opportunities. So if you're wondering where you start, you can ask for more information. So Jen and I would be glad to share with you what we do. You know, it's our pleasure to tell you more information with no obligation. We are not looking to just, suck you into something we do, but if you're interested and you want more details, or if you want to be educated, if you want to be invited to the Root Brands Detox Girls, we'd love to invite you. If you want to be invited to LifeWave group, learn and see what is this all about, we'd love to invite you. I do that. Jen does the Root Brands. If you are interested more in, I think most people in this group right now do Young Living. You want to check out what else is out there, you can. We're not looking for you to leave what you love. That's not the purpose here. It's how can we help you add to what you do, add to what you love. So prayerfully make a decision, use our links, commit to learning how to market that particular thing, how to do it, and ask God to lead you and bless your efforts and give you wisdom to know what to do and how to do it. Because truly, there's some value in learning all of the techniques and tips, but there's so much more value in coming up under the ways of the kingdom of God versus the kingdom of this world, because our God says he will prosper us and prosper everything we put our hand to. So when we put ourselves under his purview, under his power, and we say, teach us how to prosper, I think that's more powerful and less stress and effort, stress and wasted effort, I should say, than trying to run around and pay everybody in the world to teach you how to be successful in this business and do all of this stuff. And you're just draining your bank account and your energy account, so to speak, trying to do things the world's way, because we didn't get there. Jen, I can't believe you did say that, but maybe you're going to. But anything you do that I believe is in the kingdom of God that's going to help people either get out of financial bondage or get out of physical bondage, there's some warfare over it. So Jen, why don't you just take that away? Go for it.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, it's funny. I was vacillating whether because I know we need to kind of wrap it up too, but I didn't want to go to this point totally. Because anytime I talk about Young Living this way, I get this look. What is she talking about? It's just an oil. It's not just an oil. The Lord said, let there be frankincense, and so it was. It is embedded with God's word, his voice, his essence in that oil. There is some mad warfare going on. And I will tell you, and you can read a couple articles I've written on my website about my experience in Boston sharing essential oils with people. Literally their face looking like it went a different direction. I've seen husbands violently react to oils. I've never in my entire life seen the push and pull, the tension that I have experienced with using essential oils or not using them, versus anything else I've ever shared. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. It's a gift that I have. I have no problem in sales. Young Living by far has been my most difficult. You will get nothing but honesty from me, by the way. It has been my most difficult business I've ever attempted. And I know why.
And
And I'm very aware of why, though these oils are supernatural. They just are. It's a low tech, to Bren's words that she shares with different products that we have. It's a low tech way of healing your body, of doing just some really incredible things to help you as a person thrive more and walk in the ways that the Lord wants you to walk. And even recently, I saw some nonsense about it and really disparaging the company that I choose to go with, which is Young Living. And I'm like, oh, there it is. There's the warfare. Well, nice to see you again. Not really. So if you are doing anything with this, whether it's essential oils, the AO scanner, LifeWave, any of this, the Root brands, especially, I think that company as well. But how come I have most of the really hard ones? So I'm like, wait, because I was thinking about the Root brands and what Dr. Ram, what she shares real openly about the war that's going on and who she used to work for. If you're
right. Well,
oh, go ahead.
I was just to say LifeWave.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
true.
know. I don't know the founder's personal belief in God, but he seems to have that foundation. But the things that he talks about that he's developing are counter to what's happening to us as well.
Yeah,
So it's any of these people that are maybe not part of the side that is poisoning us, it's poisoning our food, poisoning our water, that is trying to get us to eat fake food, franken food, all of that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so these are counterculture people that are really standing up for um, health and for autonomy and for the right for you to have clean air and clean food and clean products. And so there's warfare over all of it.
and even just with that, so I share all the warfare, and Bren and I could talk another hour about that, but just know this: whatever you choose to do, if it's with Bren or myself or both of us, we pray over all of you,
Mhm.
and we we know really what is happening. And so if you're looking for success and you're hitting walls, then we will go to bat for you and with you.
Yep.
All right, we should keep going.
Yep. So these conclusions that I feel like we would say we came to is everyone should have it, and we hope you come to, is everyone should have their own source of income. So even if you're a stay-at-home mom, retired, don't need to work, it's wise to have your own money, right?
Yeah.
Conclusion number 2, and Jen beautifully talked to us about this in the beginning. The Bible encourages us, instructs us really to have more than one stream of income. Remember the story of the talents. I mean, I was rereading that today and it was pretty stunning. Just about Jesus's expectation that we do something with what we're given. And that doing something with what we're given means multiplying it, not hiding it, not holding on to it. And then finally, find something you're passionate about or that you can authentically promote and get going, because now is the time. This is the season. We do not know what the future holds. We don't know when things might lock down again or when something else might occur. And we need to be prepared in maybe a different way than prepping is being talked about. I mean, I'm not against that too, but this is something I think would be helpful. Our contact information is right there if you want to grab that. Right. And that's not going to cover. So Jen's phone number, my phone number, give us a call. And I think that's it. Right.
Thank you guys.
So let me go back real quick. Stop sharing here.
I'm
And
gonna stop the recording, Bren. Is that okay?
yeah, let's